Everybody ready? Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is July 29th, 2018. A lot of you might even be wondering, why is this guy still here? Well, I may be here even a little longer because that's what we feel like doing. Remember, we're working on our own schedule. And just don't make you arrogant, but use your own schedule. What is the Oakland story? Part of going to Oakland this time and the next is to assemble the people that I know that do documentary films. We're going to do a quality documentary film. We may do more than one. We may do one as a rehearsal for the real thing. What I mean a documentary film. The Oakland story will take, I mentioned this before, Oakland has, they understand the history, some of the political history of Oakland because of the Black Panther Party and what have you. They know a little bit about the teamish type thing from the Oakland A's and others, so sports, Oakland Raiders, and there's a lot of things that have happened in Oakland, even pre-Panthers, political, and Oakland culturally for the West Coast. I mentioned that the Transcontinental Railroad to go from the East Coast to the West Coast, and well, it went all over. The Pullman porters, like when they would get to Oakland, this is before they had a Bay Bridge, and you know, they used to have anything that went to San Francisco was ferries. They had big, huge ferries every morning going back and forth to San Francisco. They didn't have a bridge before 1936, 37. Both the Golden Gate Bridge, which goes the other way north, and the Bay Bridge, which goes east and west, made Oakland the end of the travel hub for east to west. So the Pullman porters start settling around the train station in West Oakland. And pretty soon war developed, and then the war years came, World War II, the big production night of Oakland and all of that was big. In fact, Kaiser Center is in Oakland. Kaiser originates in Oakland. The Kaiser building that was built in 61 or 62 used to be the biggest office building west of Chicago in Oakland. But Kaiser permitted all of that. And the Kaiser coffins, those Liberty ships that they used to build in Oakland and other places, they called them Kaiser's coffins because he perfected, I don't know Kaiser, but he perfected prefabricated building materials. Kaiser during the war. So they would build the pieces and they would assemble them right there in Oakland. They called them Kaiser's coffins because sometimes they would sink. Maybe every 20th one would just sink or something. But they were those Liberty ships, all of those, remember they had all the resources going to Europe and going around to Russia. They had to build all of those Liberty ships, they called them, for transportation, to take everything from oil to tanks, troop carriers. They built a lot of it on the West Coast. They built it all over. So Oakland became a center of production. When we moved to Oakland in 51, they had shipyards. It was an industrial giant. But now the biggest shipping area on the West Coast outside of LA is Oakland. All you see is big, huge cranes. I'll get back to it. The Oakland story is a story of, as we called it a few weeks ago, the rest of the story, the part of Oakland's history that people know about, but they've never fitted it together. So the Oakland story, we're going to start a lot with our own story. And we're going to start with what we call the boom years for Oakland. See, we have to correct the record because many people believe that we were like drug dealers. And you see some of the crackpot people, they talk, and they try to say that we sold heroin and we sold this, and well, we didn't. We sold everything but heroin. Reds, whites, bennies, Seconal, some pill, I mean, in bulk. We sold marijuana. That's what it all started. We sold crank also. Probably a lot of that. And cocaine. But what I want to talk about is East Oakland Enterprises and enterprise zones. And my administration, that's what everybody calls it. Okay, now that's what we call briefly the Oakland story. East Oakland Enterprises was the first. East Oakland Enterprises was not a white folks organized company. It's what we call what we was doing. Well, I call it that. I named it technically East Oakland Enterprises in 1969. 1969, they had arrested me so much that I went to the county farm for 60 or 90 days, something like that. And in that period, and guess what? They had a library on the farm. And I studied business management, and I read about J.C. Penney's, and I read all of that. So within 3 months, when I came home with business ideas. I also read books on the mafia and whatever I could get my hands on. So I had a vision, a picture of what we wanted to be. The main vision was East Oakland Enterprises. Enterprise zones. I want to make a few points about East Oakland Enterprises. That first of all, we hired more people in our neighborhood than the city of Oakland did. And since this is called Oakland, there are people who are young, healthy, not young anymore, but there are people who remember all of this. All of this is a matter of personal record of people who lived in Oakland, especially East Oakland. You notice if you watch the 50th anniversary of Martin Luther King and those people, one of the things that was lacking in the civil rights movement was the thing that would almost take care of most of the problem, is sufficient money. We believed in money. We were actually Americans. We believed, we supported Black liberation movement and all that, but we believed, we saw that gangsters, the Jews, everybody gained control over everything because they had money and power. The Italians didn't get prominence along with Jews in Hollywood and nowhere else from no doggone passing out handbills and stuff. They got it because of power, mainly economic power and the knowledge of how to use that power. Now, this is a serious paradigm shift for Negroes. We are in the stage of our development and we're changing the dynamics from cars, dressing real sharp, having big money for a short time, and then going broke. We made a study of our environment. And this is the thing we realize, more than anything, what brings everybody down? What slows them up? What does this? What does that? So we make a plan. When I say we, I make a plan. And what centers around that is East Oakland Enterprises. So the headquarters of Enterprises was 8417 East 14th Street. That was a record shop. The front part of it was a record shop, and the back part of it was probably almost as big that we used for meetings and other things. So here's the idea. Black people are not free because they don't have no power, they don't exercise any power over any institutions. Instead of begging to get into their institutions, we develop our own like everybody else. Okay. Part of that is you have to take control of your economy and your environment. Other people thought about that a little bit, but Philadelphia had the Black Mafia, but they killed, they didn't kill, extract that from the record. People said they was pretty mean. And we don't, of course, agree with them. People just disappeared all the time, you know. But now, the root of love for your people, Negro liberation theology and practice, that's what East Oakland Enterprises was. When I came home from Santa Rita County Farm, first thing I did was open my first record shop right away. From that record shop began the planning of the function of all this. The plan is hatched in jail, and the books we are reading in jail are the same stuff we study now. In fact, if I go back in the library on the bottom shelf down there, you'll see the same old stuff, business management. I've been studying it all my life. You know, organizational structures and all that. The point was that Negroes were never institutionalized. The closest thing to an institution was the Ward brothers. They was 4 brothers that was in a certain game. And that gave them some institutionalization, but they were organized along the colored. They bought cars and they lived good and stuff like that. They were very well known. Later on, when it was too late, they tried to get into economics, but it didn't work. East Oakland Enterprises was different than all other black institutions, especially crime, because crime consolidated the wealth of black people and sent it out, cars, Benzes, everything, clothes, everything. They consolidated, they concentrated the wealth of black people and sent it out. Not so with us. We circulated the money in our community. We follow that principle, the same principle as the Chinese, as Jews. The Jews, they said the money would circulate 11 times in the Jewish community before it went out. And I think the Chinese community have a black hole syndrome. When any money come in their community, I don't think it ever sees the light of the day unless it's inside there. That's the way we thought. So that's what we did in Oakland. I'm saying this, there are still people alive right now that remember this. All they have to remember is this 5-year economic period. It coincided with Martin Luther King's move in '68 to Chicago. Remember that was to develop economics. Okay, now, what that means is that all of us, we circulated our money, we brought money into East Oakland. That's the first thing that you have to realize. That whatever we was doing, we brought money into East Oakland. Most criminal organizations take money out of the community. They don't bring money into the community. We brought money into East Oakland, so East Oakland, during our period, is the hub of that whole Northern California region. It is the hub, not San Francisco, not other places. It's the hub of Northern California. We're bringing money from all around the region into East Oakland, and then that money is circulating